On this video, guys, I will explain to you what's going on in the market at this point, because earlier today we had a drop to $81,100, very close to touch the $80,000, and the last couple hours we touched close to $84,000. Like you see, now we have actually a green candle, but in reality, guys, the short-term situation is still bearish. I cannot lie to that. And we have many probabilities to get even lower, at least by the end days of April. After that, I see a potential reversal. Okay, like a potential reversal, I mean not instant all-time high. I mean like to begin slowly to build a bullish territory. Okay, some bullish uptrend line. But until then, I see bearish things around the market. And also, I believe the local bottom will happen inside of April. So I don't see so bullish April as some people say. I see red April, and I can say I see green May. So I will explain to you one by one why I'm still bearish for April. First of all, guys, the market today opened with the news of Trump for new tariffs. Like you see, Trump announced reciprocal tariffs will be imposed on all countries. So again, tariffs all over the time. Like that's why Bitcoin actually began the drop. And today, Trump announced new tariffs. Also, we have again crisis with the Japanese carry trade. For those who don't know, really fast, it's actually a process where you borrow yen for almost no cost. Since rates are so low, you swap that to dollars, selling yen, reducing yen strength, and then you invest the dollars in the markets that earn yield, stock market, US treasuries, stuff like that, and you pay back your yen loan and you keep the interest. This was actually the process that some people were doing. But if the rates will be increased, that creates a problem, and that push the people to sell. And for the people who remember, I have created a full video that I explained to you precisely, deeply, with details, what's going on in such a scenario and why, like, the stock market of Japan is getting crashed. And we had a crash like that back on August 2024. You see, the Japanese stock market crashed from $42,000 back down to $31,000. And of course, this affected the stock market and also the crypto market as well. So there are a couple rumors out there that a potential Japanese carry trade crisis is about to happen again. And you see already today we had a red candle. Some people fear that this will be continued. We don't know for sure. Okay, that's rumors at this point, but it's something that is bearish. It's not something that is giving you bullish feelings. Okay, yeah, it is what it is. That's another reason why today we had some correction earlier of today. Also, guys, you see we had the assassination attempt of Vladimir Putin, and this actually makes the situation of Ukraine and Russia very hot again. We were very close for a ceasefire that would be very bullish for the markets. But you see, unfortunately, yesterday we had a probable assassination attempt to Vladimir Putin, and many people claim that Zelensky is behind that and Ukraine is behind that, because Zelensky before 3 days predicted that Putin would die soon. So you see, like now the situation within these two countries is getting very hot again. So that's why today the market opened not so well. And SPX 500 actually dropped to 5,494 back down here, instead of, keep the price up or whatever. We began with a push to the downside, and in 3 hours we closed the stock market, and now SP 500 is standing in a green candle at $5,500. That's why also Bitcoin moved to the upside as well. And of course, guys, don't forget there is a tax day of US 15th of April. And this is the area where I believe we're going to get the local bottom. This is another probable sell-off day. In the tax days, people are selling to create liquidity to pay their taxes. So markets, historically speaking, are getting a little bit hit in these tax days. Okay, so if you combine all of these things together, this is why I believe for the two scenarios, either for a double bottom scenario, Bitcoin to come back to $78,000, or for a lower low, Bitcoin to go back to $73,000. And as I have explained to you, with wicks that may be gonna touch $68,000, $69,000 in a potential crash. This is the black swan event. For me, I don't see lower than that, as some people believe $50,000 to $60,000. I don't say that this is impossible to happen. I give very low probabilities for such a scenario, but still I'm preparing for something like that, okay? Because I give it low probabilities, it doesn't mean I'm not preparing myself for a scenario like that. But if you personally ask me, I believe within $73,000 and $80,000 is where the local bottom of Bitcoin will play out. And then we're going to move up. Okay. By the end days of April, early days of May, I believe Bitcoin will begin building some bullish territory. I believe we're going to break this downtrend resistance line and we're going to move up to break the 200 DMA and all the resistances that we got ahead of us, because fundamentally and according how the Q3 and Q4 will be, I'm pretty bullish at this point. We're going to have rate cuts. We will see how the Fed will react. If we're going to have any kind of QE situation where the things are about to be incredibly bullish, we will see if the QT will end up at May, because QT will begin slowing down from tomorrow. So we will see how the upcoming FOMC meetings will end up. And so far, all the data that we got in our hands is incredibly bullish for the Q3, Q4. Also, massive rumors that US will begin buy within Q3, Q4. So if you ask me now, I hope for Bitcoin to drop as low as possible, because I'm in accumulation of cash the last couple months. If you watch my videos daily, you will know that. And I'm waiting to buy generational entries of the altcoins, because my Bitcoin bags have been packed very well since 2022, 2023. I was packing like BTC bags mostly, and afterwards I began buy altcoins. And now I'm looking for generational wealth entries on the altcoins. And now really fast, let's go to see some bullish news that happened the last couple hours. And we see here, guys, Elon Musk that says to end the Fed. He's very clear to that. Like Fed is like a cartel, and Elon Musk doesn't fear to say this publicly. With one way, if you actually listen to that, he says that Fed is useless and it's like as a cartel. And also BlackRock CEO Larry Fink warns dollar at risk of losing world reserve currency status to Bitcoin. Very bullish statement from the CEO of the biggest institution in the world, financial institution. He believes a lot, like Larry Fink believes a lot into Bitcoin, and that makes Bitcoin reliable and incredibly bullish to the average retail investor eyes. And also Donald Trump, JR and Eric Trump to invest in a Bitcoin mining company. You see, the family Trump is going bullish in whatever related to Bitcoin, and I hope US to continue like this. Also, we have the FTX to begin the repayments on 13th of May. That's really bullish. That's going to create a new liquidity that will be injected in the market. This is actually a potential catalyst for the next leg up in this specific date. So FTX now is doing these repayments, and some people are about to get 11.4 billion in cash reserves, and this money, most of this money will jump back to the space. And also Metaplanet is about to raise 2 billion yen to buy more BTC. Metaplanet, as you know, is going really aggressive on Bitcoin. They buy constantly BTC, and of course the one and only legend Michael Saylor, the president of Bitcoin as I call him, bought another 22,000 BTC for $1.92 billion. Like Michael Saylor is going really crazy with the strategy, and he buys constantly non-stop massive amounts of BTC, and he's planning to buy as much of the maximum supply of Bitcoin as possible. So that's what's going on, guys, in the markets. Let me know what's your feelings in such a situation. Are you bullish, bearish, what you believe for the upcoming month of April? And also for the people who are going to ask me, Chris, where do you store your cryptos? Guys, I use cold wallet, of course. Don't store your cryptos in hot wallets or exchanges. It's super risky one day to wake up and you won't have access to your cryptos. So I use Tadzem wallet for that. I highly recommend you to use that as well. And if you're gonna go to use my CryptoChris code, you're gonna have 10% off in your order. And the CryptoChris code is with Y, not with I. And for the people who are going to ask me from where do I buy cryptos, guys, I buy from Wix. Recently, I found it and I'm very satisfied. Through Wix, it's very reliable and I prefer it because it's with no KYC. I used to buy from xt.com. Lately, they have done some sketchy things I didn't like. I stopped using it. So now I buy from Wix. It has everything, Tau, Kaspa, like almost all altcoins. So if you keep in mind that it's more reliable than xt.com, I highly recommend you guys to use it. I believe you will be satisfied. And of course, we don't store our cryptos in exchanges. We just use them to buy our favorite cryptos, immediately withdrawal to your cold wallet. So if you're going to go through my link, you can have up to $30,000 bonus. So go sign up, deposit, and immediately withdrawal to your cold wallet. And that's for today. Thank you very much from my heart for all your support, guys. I will see you all in my next video. Until my next video, Chris is out. Bye.